Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, Assalamu alaikum, Shalom alaikum. The relationship between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the State of Israel stands as a testament of how peace can bring about prosperity and stability on the bilateral level, as well as the regional level. This has always been the vision of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa al-Khalifa, starting with Bahrain hosting the Peace to Prosperity workshop in 2019 to open a channel of dialogue on economic cooperation for the benefit of the people of the region, and later with the signing of the Abraham Accords in 2020. Today, we look back at the milestones that we have achieved together with Israel and how peace has transformed every aspect of our lives since establishing relations. We have established embassies and exchanged ambassadors. We have signed 32 agreements and MOUs covering a broad range of political, economic, and social sectors. And we have recently launched the first direct flights via Bahrain's national carrier, Gulf Air, on the 30th of September of 2021. While these remarkable achievements were crucial in setting a solid foundation that links our governments and our peoples, our aspirations remain high. And what is yet to come is even more astonishing. We are working with Israel on a joint strategy that will synchronize our goals by identifying key areas of interest that will bring our officials, experts, and peoples closer towards building a better future for both countries. These areas include innovation and technology, trade and investment, food and water security, healthcare, education, sustainable energy, environmental protection, think tanks and research institutions, public safety, and religious and cultural coexistence. Sharing a joint vision and strategy will enable us to showcase the fruits of peace and serve as a regional model of how peace improves lives and inspires a much-needed hope for a region that has been suffering long enough. It will crush any existing doubts and skepticism meant to keep the status quo, to serve certain agendas, and encourage those who are seeking change to follow in our footsteps. The Kingdom of Bahrain stresses the necessity of Iran's commitment to the basic foundations and principles based on the United Nations Charter and international law covenants, the principles of good neighborliness, respect for state sovereignty, non-interference in internal affairs, resolving disputes by peaceful means, non-use or threat of force, and rejection of sectarianism. It also calls for total rejection of the continuation of Iranian interference in the internal affairs of countries in the region, condemnation of all terrorist acts carried out by Iran, and their fueling of sectarianism and sectarian conflicts, in a clear violation of international norms and values and threatening regional and international security, and stressing the need to desist and refrain from supporting groups that fuel these conflicts, and stop supporting, financing, and arming sectarian militias and terrorist organizations, including providing them with ballistic missiles and drones to target civilians. Bahrain also confirms the condemnation of actions that target the security and safety of navigation, marine facilities, energy supplies, oil pipelines, and oil installations in the Arabian Gulf and waterways, as acts that threaten the security of the GCC states and the region, the freedom of international navigation, and undermine regional and international security and peace. On another hand, it must be emphasized the importance of completing efforts aimed at creating a zone free of weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East, and the need to compel Iran to abide by the standards and protocols of the International Atomic Energy Agency, including commitment to the Comprehensive Safeguards Agreement, which includes clarifying issues related to the possible military dimension of its nuclear program, and the need for Iran to implement Security Council Resolution 2231 of the year 2015 regarding Iran's nuclear issue, and to ensure that it does not carry out any kind of provocation in the future. Finally, the Kingdom of Bahrain welcomes the decision of our friend, the United States of America, to classify the Iranian Revolutionary Guards as a terrorist organization, stressing the importance of this step in confronting the dangerous role played by the IRGC as an element of instability, a factor of tension, and a tool for spreading violence and terrorism in the Middle East and the world at large.